Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. All right, so what I want to do, we got through a lot of the show tonight, and hopefully, folks was listening and they heard some of it, but if they didn't, I'll just kind of quickly recap. We talked a little bit about the Donald Trump situation that's coming up here with his inauguration, and we talked a little bit about Barack Obama's legacy. We had the number one truth fighter in America, Warren Ballentine, join us in the first segment here tonight. So we had a lot of good show, and we got a lot more great show to continue giving you. So we appreciate you guys' patience. Facebook Live is back, and hopefully those folks that were checking us out on the live feed for Legacy Internet Radio, as well as on TuneIn, hopefully you guys are back now as well. What I want to do, there were a couple of stories that happened in the last, couple of months. And, we got a recap for one of those stories. And I want to start with you, Didi. You remember a few months ago in South Carolina in the school when the resource officer came in and kind of slammed the kid down to the ground.
Which the girl? The
girl, yeah.
He picked her up out of her, in her seat, I believe she was still sitting when he slammed her.
Slammed her down to the ground. Yeah. Well, he's a former South Carolina school police officer, so he did lose his job, but he's not going to face any federal charges, the Justice Department said on Friday. They said that they couldn't prove that Ben Fields, who actually was fired from Spring Valley High School in Columbia after the 2015 October clash, intended to violate the student's constitutional rights. Quote, after careful and thorough investigation, the team of experienced federal prosecutors and FBI agents determined that the evidence was insufficient to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Fields willfully deprived the Spring Valley High School student of the constitutional rights. The decision appears to leave him off the hook for the classroom confrontation. Video captured her being slammed to the ground by him, dragged from her desk across the floor. Got it properly set up. What's your thoughts? Black girl slammed by a white cop out of her chair, and he didn't try to violate her constitutional rights, so there won't be any charges.
Well, what constitutional rights were they looking at is my question.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
Well, if you want me to answer that, I just told somebody earlier today, the Constitution was not written for us.
Uh-oh.
So people keep talking about it, and, people keep quoting things out of the Constitution. The Constitution was not written to include black men or women or any person that was not a white male. I don't, there have been amendments and things like that, but again, what were the constitutional rights that they were looking at? I need the specifics, because in order to investigate what rights weren't violated, the rights had to be spelled out. Did anybody, I'll look into that later, but, so they just generally said her constitutional rights. I'm thinking due process was not violated. One. What would another one be? What constitutional rights do kids have when they're in school?
I guess it's the right not to get slammed on the third floor.
No, I mean, what's the actual?
Kids don't have rights.
In school, they don't.
No.
They don't have rights in school.
They really don't have rights.
They don't have a right of privacy.
No privacy.
They are considered in the custody of
an adult.
Yes, when they're in school. So, and teachers and staff are considered
adults.
They're adults, but it's a term.
Guardian?
I think it's guardian or something like that.
They're probably guardian ad litem at the time.
Illinois, Wisconsin have laws that specifically explain what, when kids are in school, what the custodial relationship is. I can't think of what it is. But anyway, like I said, I'd like to know what were the exact rights that were investigated that were not violated. This is interesting to me.
Well, I'm looking at is saying the student who was involved with who involved was charged with disturbing schools, a misdemeanor, as was the girl who recorded the video. But the state prosecutors later dropped those charges against the students.
Wait a minute. The girl the people who recorded the video were charged with a misdemeanor for disorderly conduct?
Yeah, misdemeanor. Just charged with disturbing schools.
Disturbing
schools, which is the same like the dude who filmed Emmett Garner getting killed. You know, he was the only one charged with anything. Man, I just saw your whole face. You just went all black girl on us just now. You know, you just gave the look that every brother on the planet knows.
Really? I don't do that a lot.
Like, woo! Just glad I'm not the reason for that look. My goodness. Yeah, what you think, big bro? I mean, the cop. Now you got daughters, man.
I do.
Can I say something before y'all get there?
Yeah.
You know these kids petitioned to get him back in school after he got when he was on administrative leave. They petitioned to get him back in there. They said he's not a bad guy. The kids said he was a good dude. Yes, they had a respectful fear of him. They knew. Don't mess up, or Officer feels if he comes in the room, you know, it's about to go down, as Kevin Hart says. But there were only a few kids who were like, yeah, good for him. But the majority of the kids,
yep, I remember that
they did a little march or walk in or something like that to get him back. So with that being said,
but see, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Yes, I do have daughters. Yes. I'm gonna say this as first. I'm gonna say it as a father, then I'm gonna say it as somebody who has done some law enforcement as well. We don't know what predicated the whole thing in the beginning. You notice if we ever watch Facebook or we watch those videos, they always black out the size so you can't tell what's going on, and they never get it. They always get it right there.
You don't get the full story.
You don't
get the full story.
That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, but what full story?
Let me tell you. Now we're going to get there. Because if you everybody said some of these girls, and this they did say that this kid was a problem kid.
Yeah, that's why the guy got called in the room.
Yeah, this kid was a problem child. But they're saying that he used excessive force in the diligence of his duties or in the actions of his duties. Now, as a father, I probably would be going to see this person. Now, I'm going to put it like that.
As tactful as you can.
As tactful as I can. I would probably be going to see that officer. As a matter of fact, I can pretty much tell you that is no way in the way I would probably give you my credit card and say, hold on to this because I'm going to need bail money. Because I know what was going on. But on the outside looking in, you expect those law enforcement officers or those resource officers to take a lot from those kids. Kids smacking at you. Kids hitting you. Kids spitting at you. Kids doing a lot. These kids doing dirt. I will say in our age of growing up, because everybody in here is over 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We didn't do that to a degree. We didn't do that.
It's the millennials. They crazy.
Well, their parents didn't. Well, okay, that's a whole nother story.
We their parents though.
Look, don't say you gonna call my mom and dad.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I might.
Faking a heart attack.
You'll fall out.
Yeah, let me just do something. Look, can I do something else? Look.
Exactly.
You need some dishes washed.
Yeah, something. But I mean, yeah,
I guess. I agree. I hear you and I agree with you. But my thing is this: you're still dealing with a child, a little girl. She's 15 years old, and as a person that's trained there should be some kind of way that you can gain control of the situation without dragging a little girl out of her chair across the room.
That's
like we saw.
A whole lot of assumptions, Marcus. Once again, you don't know the full
and I don't. And
story.
Yeah, I don't. But my guess is there were enough people in that room to know, to be able to guess. And I guess that's the reason why he wasn't charged. But if what predicated all of that was a smart mouth, then
I won't even say a smart mouth.
I got a problem with that.
Because they said the young lady was actually...
She was asked to leave the room. She refused. She refused to leave the room, which is the reason why he was called there to begin with.
So, if he goes to get her, you jerk away.
That's right.
That's assault.
Right. That's assault.
What?
Yes. That's assault.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. I take that back. That's battery. That's battery, not assault. Because assault is verbal.
If
That's
a cop
battery.
grabs you or something, you just play along with
Yeah.
it. Play.
You just get up
Don't
and
do
go.
nothing. Just play along with it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious. Yeah. I mean, think about
Oh
how
my
police
God.
officers get away when you with stuff all the time. And technically, he is still a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
He is a resource. He's a police
just works
officer.
in a
I know, I got you. I mean, and the law is the law, you know, but, you know, there should be something to don't freaking touch me. Like,
Stun gun. Put a stun gun in
Who
there.
don't touch who?
don't touch me, officer.
No, you don't. But once you don't have. But see, once again, you don't have that right to say don't
Right,
touch.
you're a student.
You don't have
Shoot,
that right.
adults can't. Adults
Yeah.
don't have that right.
I just, you know,
We don't have that right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it as 100 as I can. I could give a damn about your school laws and rules and all that shit. For real, you touch my child. You know what I mean? Like, everybody speaks that language. You touch my child.
No, not touch.
You
If
dragged
you
my
did
child
this to my
out of
child.
her
Well, hey,
chair.
come on, let's go.
You dragged my-
Boom.
Yeah, like you
You really gonna have to call the police.
Thank you.
Here's
The
the
real
police.
police.
Well, he gonna
Not the
need
school
backup.
office. Not
gonna
the
need backup.
resource office.
call your friends.
Okay.
You
But
know
this
what I
is the
mean?
I
thing.
ain't mad at you.
Apparently, the teacher that was in the class when this happened must have
He called
said
him.
something to where this guy didn't get. I mean, you can't tell me this man, because it was a male teacher, and I
Yes.
think he was black.
It was a black dude. I think it was a black male teacher. Yeah,
He stood there the whole time.
and why?
He didn't say, "Hey, officer,
know what?
that's too much."
Chill,
He
chill,
didn't
chill,
say
chill.
well, let me
Nah,
say
he didn't
this.
say that. He didn't
I
say
didn't
that.
see that on the video. All you heard were the kids. Oh, you know.
All you saw was thunk.
That man did not. So, like you said, we don't know the whole story. Apparently, he said something. He had to have said something to the point where it was like,
Because you think about it, why didn't if she was that bad? I mean, why did? Because you think about it, if it was a male teacher, why didn't he escort her out the room? Because first of all, if he puts his hand on a female student, then you got a whole
yeah, that's
nother
different.
issue.
Yep.
Now, if it would have been a female resource officer who came in there and put her down, because I've seen that happen too.
I hear it.
Yeah, I've seen female put females down.
I don't think it would have been as bad. It would have been. It
wouldn't
would have been. Dang, you know. Wonder what that. I truly and honestly think it would have been. I wonder what that girl said or did.
Because did you see the one where the teacher snapped on it? I mean, she took her shoes off and squared up on the girl, and they got it all on Facebook. I'm dying because the teacher swole up.
That's crazy.
And you know, hashtag on Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. Anybody who listens to this show knows how important the ministry that we do with regards to missing children is to me and to the crew. And I saw a story. I don't know if everybody has seen it, but there was a story 18 years ago about a girl who was just born, who was stolen from the hospital. And the girl was taken from her mom and dad and raised as another couple's child. The woman that raised the girl obviously knew what she did, but she presented her to who thought he was the father. Fast forward 18 years, the mystery is over. We know that this girl is in fact the abducted girl from the hospital, young Kamaya Mobley. She's lived her life under a different name for the entire 18 years of her life. There's a lot to this story, a lot of angles. I'll introduce a couple, and then if you guys want to introduce a couple, this is the last story we're going to do in this segment. Then we're going to jump in, and we're going to talk about Martin Luther King's legacy in the next segment. But 18 years she was being raised by a family that's not hers. Didi, your mom, I'm going to start with you. 18 years that this woman had to wonder where her child was. They showed a video of her because she was a teenage mom. So she's a young girl when she gives birth. and she's just distraught as any mother or father would be. She just wanted her child back, and every year they said that she put a piece of cake in the refrigerator, in the freezer, for birthdays, waiting, hoping that her child would come home. And there's a photo floating around the internet now, because she has now been reunited with her biologicals. The mother who abducted her, who raised her, the mother figure, I'll say it that way, she obviously has now been arrested and incarcerated. And the man who raised her as his own, he's left with nothing now because he thought he had a daughter, and obviously we know that he doesn't. I lied. I'll share my thoughts on this here going forward, but I want you to lead off. What you got, Didi?
I couldn't even watch it. When I watched the arraignment for the, oh my God, what's her name? Say her name again.
Kamaya Mobley.
Even she cried. She was crying when they, I couldn't watch it. I can't imagine. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't. Your child is gone, and then you find her, but then she's missed all this time because of what somebody else, some other selfish person chose to do.
Right. And
now this girl has to. And the guy who thought he was her father. Now they're the ones.
The victims.
Yes. What does he do?
Everybody in this story is a victim.
Yes.
Except for the woman that snatched the kid.
Exactly.
The parents, the biological parents, they're victims because they had to go 18 years. Now, let's do the math. Let's do the math. Today is 2017. So 18 years ago is 1999, 1998.
That's when my son was born, 99.
So there you go. So you think about everything you've done and seen in your life in that time frame. Like, that's just crazy to me. Solo, I know you hear what's going on here. What's your thoughts on this story, brother?
Wow. Well, I am a father of a 10 and 6-year-old son and daughter. I'm basically, I'm dumb to this because I just now learning about this, and
it's heartbreaking.
Just every day, I'm going by my perspective, seeing my children born, coming out my ex-wife's, my wife at the time's womb, and going,
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
And you have, as a mother and the father, how do you stop? Because it's not like your child died or they found, we found the body.
Well, you didn't
later.
know.
Exactly.
You didn't know.
You just going,
right.
not knowing what happens, not knowing what happened.
Right.
That's just, ooh.
Here's the crazy dynamic with it, right? She's 18, which means she can do whatever she wants.
That's true.
And she can go and be wherever she wants. Now, I obviously don't know these people, but my guess is she still has feelings for the people who raised her, particularly the dad, because he's innocent in this, like she is, and probably the mom.
I mean, she was tearful when she got a. They were saying she was going to jail. So I saw something, and that's when I was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
Because the woman was boohoo crying, and the girl was crying too, from what I saw.
Which one were you referring to, the biological or the abductor?
The abductor. So they had a tearful.
That's because she was caught.
Isn't there a movie out about something like this? I think
several movies, but I don't think it's ever been a black movie made about it. This is a black.
Is that a movie with like Taraji P. Henson?
No.
I thought it just came out. Not too long.
With Morgan Freeman when they was taking kids and he was raising them.
What is that? I've never heard.
I thought I saw something.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound familiar to me. Maybe so, but it doesn't.
The little white kid, and remember the dude?
Yeah.
Because they took the child from a mama because she was a good mother, and they tried to get a child a better home.
But no, that's not what this is about. This is about. Well, was it similar? This lady stole a baby.
Yeah.
She stole a baby.
Yeah, they stole the baby.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they stole her. They
Well,
stole her. Yeah.
I mean, we hear, and I, you know me, I go back, and yes, that's it's heartbreaking and crippling. Like you said, this both the father and the little girl, or the 18-year-old woman at this present time, are devastated. The only parents that she know are the ones that she have. So the people who are her biologicals, I mean, they're gonna get a chance, hopefully, maybe. But like you said, she's 18 now. She can be like, okay, guess what? I'm alive, but I don't know you people. I don't even want to try to get to know you people. I'm going back with my daddy, and that's just with it, because he's my daddy.
'Cause that's who I know.
You know, yeah, I think that's so bad. And I have to go here. What happened at the hospital?
Well, you know, now there's certain checks and balances.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Mama's 13. She'll be 14. And I remember being in the hospital and having to have a wristband.
Yeah, you got
Wristband,
the
right?
bracelet.
A wristband.
And it was a wristband. A mother had to have a wristband. And she had a wristband as an infant.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if it wasn't matched up, then, you know, it was a no-go. And
I mean, even now, the kids don't normally stay, unless they're sick, they don't stay in the nursery. They stay in the room with the mother and with one person who's actually awake, you know, and stuff like
But
that.
what you just said, like, you know, the young woman now, she doesn't know the biological mother. You said, I don't know you. I know these two that raised me. I'm imagining how this mother's feeling when she hears his daughter
Being
say
rejected.
this.
Say that.
Yeah, if she says that to her.
yeah.
But
That's
that's
crazy.
a counseling
Being
session
rejected.
for everybody.
That is crazy.
Because, I mean, she can't be mad at the little girl. I mean, I keep saying little girl because I want to. For me, I would still see her as a little girl.
I see her as a little
that's
girl,
okay,
too.
yeah.
She's 18.
She's 18.
Okay,
She's
I
still a
get
little
it.
girl, yeah.
You know, but I mean, technically she's an adult, so because she can make her own decisions. But I'm sure that the mother, the biological, is probably relieved and happy to know that her baby is still alive.
Yeah.
And now, like you said, the healing that's going to have to take place in that family.
Therapy.
Therapy, but like I said, it's still got to be healing. It's going to have to be some
Has to be.
healing going on in there.
You know,
And-
and I think I'm sorry.
And
Didi.
therapy is voluntary. If she decides she doesn't want to do it,
Yeah.
she doesn't have to.
You know what I think? I think the only way that this works is if they have a brand new blended family. That's the only way, because the girl, she's not going to be able to, like, that's her dad.
Yeah, that's her. That's what I'm saying. That's her dad.
Well, that's her
I
dad.
think the only way it can work is if that young lady chooses to get to know her biological
Yeah, that's
mother.
the
Yeah.
only way
Yep.
it's going
That's
to
the
work.
only way.
Yep.
If I was the daddy, you know, when I say daddy, if I was the daddy that she knew,
Yeah.
I probably would push
Right.
for her.
Right.
I would be
Right.
like, look, you're an adult now.
Go
trained
go
you
know
up.
them.
Go
Yeah.
know them.
Go know them.
I'm gonna be here for you,
Go
Yes.
know them.
but you need to know them.
Yeah.
I
And,
don't-
and you know that's going to be a
That's gonna
dagger
hurt.
in his heart to
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
but see, that's what a man
That's
would
what
do.
a man
A
would
man
do.
would do.
A man would do. Yeah, you're
A
right.
real daddy would do that.
Yeah,
He
a
would
daddy
say,
would do that.
you need to
You need
Yeah,
to.
you gotta
you
know.
need to reach out to your biological parents.
Because you
have
think
to.
about the pain that he's probably understanding the pain that her biological father
He's about to feel it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now my child doesn't even, it's not her fault, but she doesn't want to know me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got to live with that death and ooh wee.
Because that's what it is.
You got to live with that death all over again.
All
'cause that-
over.
like you said, it might be a dagger, but see, if you a real daddy, like I just said, man, you got to buck that up and be like, hey,
Yep.
Yeah.
I trained you better.
And you know how Step on Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we are going to have some reflections on the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today is King Day. And, you know, we won't take a whole lot of time, but we just kind of talk about the Rev and have some conversation about that. And on the other side, after that, we'll close it out with our rants and our closings. Got a lot of stuff still to do on the show. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us tonight. Marcus J. and the crew and you. Be back in a few.
What's up, y'all? This is your man K-Dub, and when I'm down on 285 down in Atlanta, GA, maybe on I-64 in Newport News, Virginia, or maybe I'm in Jersey City catching that light rail headed downtown to go into NYC, I'm always plugged in to Legacy Internet Radio, listening to Ain't No Half Stepping with my man Marcus J. Check it out, y'all. Peace.
Holistic